The real work is happening behind the scenes, Barca fans. Welcome to FC Barcelona Central. I am your host, Pedro, and what's unfolding this summer proves that this is truly one of Barcelona's most impressive transfer market in recent history. Today, we're taking you inside the club's innovative approach to finding future superstars, dissecting the challenging situations surrounding Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, and revealing the strategic thinking behind every crucial departure. It's all happening here now, so let's jump right into it. Let's talk strategy here. Even though our economic situation remains a significant factor, FC Barcelona objective is clear: to compile reports on promising young talent and approach their signing at accessible price, anticipating the big clubs that operate with unlimited budgets. A successful example of this model is Mika Faye, who arrived at Barca for just 1.5 million and was transferred a year later to Rennes for 10.3 million. This is a perfect operation that the club considered a model to be repeated. A source close to the club indicate that if this of signing of prospect, we have a very interesting player at low cost, and if it doesn't work out, we can just sell him practically for the same amount we paid. It's a low risk, high reward. In this vein, a promising young talent of just 17 years old who's already making wave on the Brazilian football. And in the last few hours, we're talking about Zé Lucas, a player from Sport Club do Recife. Our sporting manager Deco and the sporting director from the Brazilian club Thiago Gasparinho traveled to Barcelona with other clubs officials to meet with Deco. It is reported that Barca is negotiating the Brazilian midfielder who is also the captain of the under 17 national team who won the South American Championship last April. If an agreement is reached, the player might have to remain in Brazil for another year due to an existing restriction on registering players on the age that are non-European, which prevent the move until they turn 18. This shows the long-term vision of the club that we are preparing to. Another topic that is very important, it is the exit of the difficult situation that Marc-Andre Ter Stegen is in. FC Barcelona has already confirmed the signing of Joan Garcia, who will be the starting goalkeeper for next season. While the German has still 2 years left on his contract, our departure seems the most logical option. But Ter Stegen does not have an overflowing market of transfers to choose from. Ter Stegen commands a very high salary, which can deter some teams in a position to make this investment. Monaco could be an option here. The club has ruled out the signing of Andre Onana from Manchester United, and Ter Stegen will also be a good fit on their plan to reinforce that position. The good relationship between the clubs following the Ansu Fati loan could help, but for now, Ter Stegen, with no other exits being considered beyond a contract termination or a permanent transfer. Remember, a loan practically is not on the table for the 33-year-old goalkeeper. Another potential suitor with the club that has pretty much the most money out of all is Manchester City. Ederson, who is 31, hasn't had the best season, and neither Ortega or Bettinelli are considered to be a reliable alternative. City reportedly before wanted to sign Ter Stegen, and his ball playing ability and shot stopping make him an ideal player for the citizens, although the negotiations can be really tough. From England, we have a new name added to the list, and that's looking for Ter Stegen, and it is Chelsea. The Blues have reportedly inquired about Marc-Andre Ter Stegen's situation at Barca, and the options for the German they just want to see what happens with Ter Stegen and see if he's going to leave. But Chelsea has already transferred out Kepa, and although Robert Sanchez needs the starter, they are evaluating to go for the German keeper. In continental Europe, there is another strong option, and this one is AC Milan. Mike Maignan, who only has 1 year left in his contract with the Rossoneri, is also negotiating his renewal without yet reaching an agreement. His departure could trigger a chain reaction in the Europe goalkeeping, leaving a spot for Marc-Andre Ter Stegen at Milan side to grow again after a disappointing last season. San Siro is reportedly convinced that with veteran players like Ter Stegen and Luka Modric, they can form a backbone from the team that at a minimum returns to fighting for the top spot in Serie A. In Germany, with the World Cup in mind, Leverkusen would be a good option. The Finnish international Luka, who is 35, also his contract runs in 2026. A replacement could arrive at any moment, and Ter Stegen return will be an excellent news for the Bundesliga, and in particular for the coach Julian Nagelsmann, who will have his number one close by him for the 2026 World Cup. Plus, Ter Stegen could play in the Champions League with a competitive team that aims for qualify for the playoffs. Those are some good options in Europe, but there's not the only options. If he wants to stay on the limelight, he might want to do that. But beyond that, other opportunity exists that will take him out of the media spotlight. One of this is Galatasaray, who has already inquired about the player days ago, but the idea has been put in the shelf. Economically, this best situation will be to accept a move to Saudi Arabia. This will mean he will have to take a step back sportingly, but he will continue to play. Now, remember, his priority is to be a starter for the 2026 World Cup and maintaining his high salary. I don't know. Let's see what happens with Ter Stegen. This situation has to be resolved, hopefully sooner rather than later. Now, let's finally look at two of the young talents with a potential immediate transfer. Mallorca is pretty interested in Pablo Torre. Our Barca, they are considering him for a loan for the attacking midfielder, possibly after a prior renewal from his contract that ends in 2026, or even a permanent transfer. But Pablo Torre isn't the only player they are interested in. Another player that we talked about is Rooney Bargi, who is in talks with Barcelona, and his signing could be imminent. Taking advantage of the Pablo Torres negotiation, Mallorca will also like to count on the Swedish winger who's still in Copenhagen. With, like I said, with the signing for Barcelona not yet official, according to various media, they say that the deal is done. The player born in 2005 in Kuwait with a Swedish passport, Rooney Bargi, has the characteristic that a winger that Mallorca is looking for. A talented, quality, left-footed player with enough audacity to drive in and out the box and shoot from goals. This could be a perfect development loan for him after his imminent arrival in Barcelona. With these few rumors of departures, I do want to take a step back and step in another direction, and I want to talk about what's been happening in the Club World Cup. I know that we should have been in this competition, but that's a different story. That's a video for some other day. I just want to look. By the time of this video is released, we will have all the finalists for this competition. They have two more groups to be battled out, and we'll know by tomorrow. But I wanted to take a little peek in Inter Milan, a team that beat us in the UEFA Champions League, and me and a lot of people are very salty about about this. They are in Group E with Monterrey, River Plate, and Urawa Reds. They are number one on their group stage, but they tied with Monterrey 1-1. That's incredible. Barcelona would have definitely beat Monterrey. They beat the Urawa Reds 2-1, and they beat River Plate 2-0 after River Plate has two players being thrown out before the game was over. Inter Milan will play Fluminense in the next round, and we'll see what happens. Another team that moved on to the next round that I'm keeping a close eye on is those of Real Madrid. They are moving on to the next round. I don't think we know who they're gonna play yet, because they still have yet to play one more game, because I'm making this video right before those games finish. They let me just double check here. They will play. Real Madrid is set to play RB Salzburg, a German team, which I think they most likely just end up on top of the group. Remember, Atletico Madrid. Not Athletic Club. I've been talking about Athletic Club so much yesterday because of Nico Williams. But Atletico Madrid is out of the competition, giving a very, very poor performance. We'll see what happens, guys. Also, remember, this competition, the FIFA Club World Cup, it's a pretty big one. I know it's a brand new one, but the winner for this tournament will receive the same amount of money that the UEFA Champions League winner will receive. So if Paris Saint-Germain wins and takes it all, he will win the Champions League and the FIFA Club World Cup, which is two major trophies in terms of money. Also, keep in mind that this is the last tournament of the 2024-2025 season. given that the 2025-2026 season pretty much starts on July 1st when most of the transfer market opens across Europe. Coolers, we have so much information here. What an electrifying time for FC Barcelona, from pioneer new scouting models and negotiate on complex deals from young talented players to the high stakes of the carousel involving Ter Stegen and the constant battle for our top target. It is clearly, like I said, one of the best transfer market in FC Barcelona in recent years. What do you think of this Barca strategic approach to signing young talent like say Lucas or Ronnie Bargi? And where do you see Marc-Andre Ter Stegen playing next season? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to stay on top of all breaking news and analysis from FC Barcelona, please make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell because it helps the channel reach every single one out there that is a Barca fan. If you want to get in touch with me, please hit me up on Instagram under my childhood nickname Orruto, Orruto. Until next time, and Visca Barça.